Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Tegar Zuhdi Al Farabi by identification number 2311204029. Today I would like to talk about assessing speaking, particularly in English teaching program. And this is important because as English teacher undergraduate, we should know what will we be assessing we when we design when we design an assessment for speaking skill to our students. Okay, here we go. First thing first, what is speaking is a real-time language production. I think it's quite easy to understand because there is no time to think or planning when we speak about something to someone. And also it is very different than writing skill or writing activity. When you have time to plan, when you have time to make something and then you revise it. In speaking, there is no such thing like that. It is very on time, it is very on the stage. So the time you do a mistake, you can't easily replace or revise your speech, not as in the writing skill. And that is for speaking definition. Now we move on the aspects of speaking, where I got three aspects of speaking, including pronunciation, which is how understandable the speaker. Then also there is also grammar and vocabulary aspect, how accurately and effectively language is used, and also interactive communication, like how well the speaker responds, keeps a conversation going, and negotiates meaning. When we make a speaking assessment or a speaking test, these are the factors that we should pay attention about, and these are factors have to we have to be a standard to be assessed. So out of these aspects, you could also take a score for that, but these three aspects are the most important, and once these aspects going wrong, then there is something you need to pay attention more to your students speaking skill, and you need to pay attention more to these aspects to be revised or to be made to a better way. The next is the measurement in speaking assessment. When you make a set of tests or assessment, you should pay attention and measure some things, including pronunciation and comprehensibility, grammar and vocabulary, interactional effectiveness, fluency, and coherence. These aspects encompass from the understandable through stress, rhythm, intonation, and clarity, to the topics such as is the logic structured smoothly and in accordance, or in the other word, are the speakers or are the students able to express their ideas logically. So beside of being clear and grammatical, speaking also encompass topic like logic or the coherence of a speech, because at the end, the aim of communication is to to understand a topic or understand someone or something. So it doesn't matter how good the grammar is, it will be in vain if the logic or if the concept cannot be explained correctly or be explained unlogically and not smooth. Like the person you talk with will not be able to understand you if you can't present your ideas clearly. The next section is about some ways to assess speaking, including short interviews or conversation prompts, picture or prompts-led descriptions, role plays and discussions, storytelling or opinion sharing tasks, which all of these four ways or four methods is applicable when you make an assessment to your students. And also these assessments encom- encompass different different way to get a score for the students, like short interviews or conversation prompts. We assess the speaking from exactly what they talk. When in storytelling and opinion sharing tasks, we also besides from assess their clarity or their grammar in their speak, we also assess their ability to present their ideas logically and uh, smoothly. And there's also an important note where these methods are measured through a rubric included key criteria we mentioned, which are pronunciation, grammar, interaction, and fluency. So we have to understand and we have to remember when we make an assessment questions or an assessment design, we have to we have to ensure that our assessment is exactly aimed to develop the pronunciation, develop grammar, interaction, and fluency. Because other than that, our students speaking ability will maybe will not be developed, or um, the speaking assessment will miss the main goal if we don't aim these four key criteria we mentioned earlier. I also got some tips for effective assessment, including use authentic tasks that mirror real conversations, then be objective, which we have to assess based on rubrics, not only personal impressions, which means uh, don't be uh, don't be just not just because our students speak is excellent we then score it high, but we also remember that there are some aspects that could be measured logically or mathematically, and we have to pay attention for those aspects, and from there we will have more objectively assessment or more objectively a judgment through someone's speaking skill. Then after we make the assessment, we should also give clear feedback so that the students could know what they did well and what to improve next time. And don't forget to encourage real communication, not only memorize responses, so that the student will be trained to the real conversation in real world, and rather than train for the template or memorize responses, because if the students only remember the template responses, it might cause them difficulties when they talk to the real native, who nota bene have more mental lexical, and it will cause them some other difficulties, like the confusion when they want to express something but they don't know the template answer for that thing. That's why we should encourage real communication, not memorize responses. All right, I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. I hope this explanation is beneficial. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.